Don here. Okay, back again with another live stream. Um, I been studying on the DNS servers from Net Pro Max, and I've learned a little more. And let's see. I think I have one thing I haven't done. Probably the reason I can't get to it on the local network is because I don't think I set up a reverse DNS entry where you can type in the IP address, the local IP address, and have it return something. And I've read and watched videos, and there's a whole bunch more that I've learned more. But right now I'm going to go into I'm going to show what I've been doing tonight. I've been up all night, back on the night schedule, and I think I've got well. I don't know if I'm going to get out of it or not, but I thought I might as well make a video because I made so many screenshots that it's driving me crazy, and I was making too many. So I'm going to go to the desktop, and I'm actually going to show some of the screenshots here. But here's the state DonsSongs.com is in right now. I had it working to go, well, DonsSongs.com would come up with a website, but what it came up with was one of the first mistake I made, or one of the mistakes I made, was I went through and I made I'll just show it, but I'll show as I go. Anyway, that's what we're getting right now with it. So it's showing to be down by the things I used to watch. I'll show you again. I'll type it in and show you what happens. So it doesn't kind of give the same effect when you do it from there. So let's go to bishopco.biz. It's working good as it has been, and I didn't change it. bishopco.com, it works just fine. From what I did, and okay, what I did is I set them all to the same my external IP address. That's what I was thinking I needed to do. What I wasn't thinking about, I was thinking about it, but it didn't dawn on me. It just shows to be completely down now. Let's see what. Yeah, this is what it was doing. Psalm68.org. It's just going to my bishopco.com site page, and it's doing the same thing. Now I ended up, I went ahead and set DonsSongs.com. It's not the root of my website is the bishopco. Index HTML is the bishopco.com. You got to go here to folder dweeb98 and index.html to get to my DonsSongs.com website. That's the structure of my website. That's just how I built it over the years. So I have to have it follow to that page. But so I thought, well, maybe I can just leave it. It was already forwarded to my external IP, so I thought, well, maybe I can just say forward it to DonsSongs.com folder dweeb98. At first, it looked like it was working, and then it quit working. And so there's a couple of things. I think there's this URL shortener thing. I think it is breaking my sites. As soon as I get them working, it's somehow taking over and breaking. Well, it doesn't say URL shortener this time. Sometimes you get this URL shortener. Oh, there it is. Go short. Sometimes it says something about, this time it says everything's working on our side. It's your side. Well, and I was beginning to suspect my forwarding service that I've been using. But now I think it's Godaddy's URL shorteners that I don't ever remember even knowing that they did any of that, and that I don't remember setting anything up. But I found a page with a bunch of it set up. I don't know if they did it automatically or if I did it and don't remember it or what. But I'm hoping. But besides all that, well, I'll show it. I broke a bunch of stuff doing that, because I found a place to make a script. It's just I'll show it to you. Okay, so here's how my free DNS at afraid.org subdomain is a subdomain bishopco.us.2. It's a subdomain of us.2. It's a free domain that they have a lot of them that you can use. And if you get one, say I found one all I had to do is add bishopco to us.2, and that's just pretty darn, it just seems like it would go along with my bishopco.com and all that. And so there's my external IP address that it points to. And this is turned on right here, link updates of the same IP together. That's turned on. So that's one thing that I knew I wanted turned on. That's probably why I got kind of confused, because this other part here, this is about the dynamic DNS, and so I was looking that over, and I'm not going to go into it, but this is what I was going to get to. This is the other one where I had this turned on, and I thought it was messing it up. Well, I turned it off. It says, if I hit apply, it would enable it, and you have to click the box. But I turned it off the other day, and I thought maybe I'd fix my problem of the IP address kept changing on the GoDaddy setup, and it just kept right on, up and down, up and down. I got probably 50 notices, yesterday, in between yesterday and today. So, and they got two interface versions, and they got a new website basically and an old website, but they both work and stuff. And so, and I found something else using the new interface, some information and some help on it. That and in GoDaddy I need two NS name servers, and so you can use it. I already tried this at ns2.afraid.org. I believe that's all I'll have to put in there I got to have two, and I tried using the same one twice, and they said no, you can't do that. And so, but first I have to get my name server up and online and being seen before I got any hope of even being able to use my own name server. But I'll use this. What I'm thinking is I'll use this one as the backup name server, and then and then it'll go to it, and then it'll send everything to. Hopefully, if it may not work. Let's see. Somehow it's got to see the way I have it pointed to. My website's pointed to US.2 is by having them forwarded to US.2. But if I have them forwarded, they're forwarded. So I'm not sure how I'm going to work that out. That may not even work. I might be able to, in my config files, just make another name server file, another name. Like I could make, it wouldn't work. The more I get into it, the more confusing it gets, just the more complicated it gets. I may not be able to use this all. I think from the stuff I've watched, there may be a way to do it. Let me check my audio over there on my stream. I don't hear anything. See, it's muted. Oh yeah, because I had to there we go. It's not very loud, but turn it up just a little bit more. Okay. Usually I can hear it pretty good. It was muted. I had to reload the page a couple of times, and I forgot to unmute it. I was like, well, the computer's not muted, but then I forgot that the video has to be unmuted as well. So anyway, maybe I can set up two NS1, NS1, like I was talking about before, NS1 and NS2, but on my server still. I was thinking, okay, we'll do bishopco.biz and bishopco.com or something like that, but we'll see. That might work. I'd have to think about it. Because if my websites aren't forwarded to the homeip.net, then if you go to my, and I still don't understand how going to ns2.afraid.org is going to point them to me. I think I tried that once before. But that's what it says. If you read all that stuff, it's what it sounds like to me, that's what you could do with it. But secondary hosting, let's use Afraid.org's secondary name server as a slave name server to your primary name server. That's exactly what I want, So, but I'm not, I'm not quite sure. Well, maybe I can point it to, it'll be going to bishopco.us.2, but I already looked at that, like web forward. I can't click. I'm thinking I can click on it, but it's not a web page. Okay, and even though I don't have it, yeah, I was going to make it full screen so that it would be bigger and easier to read. I'll really be wanting to click on it now, but it won't. I can't, so it won't do anything. Okay, so I was trying to do this to go faster, but we'll see. All right. Okay, now I'm back on GoDaddy. This is first screenshot on GoDaddy's. Okay, now I'm edit the domain. I was trying all different things, trying to figure things out. This is Shortner. That is that Shortner stuff I was talking about. This is already set up, and I don't remember setting it up. So this is what it's set to. It says bishopco.us base redirects to bishopco.com, goes to bishopco.us.2. Unless that's what happens when you set a forward. You know, it calls it in what they call a shortener. Then it says unknown links redirects to base redirect page, which is, I'm figuring out, since this is what's been happening on my website, any unknown links just go back to the home page, which, you know, bishopco.us.2. Bishopco.com is what it really is to me. What it really is some files on my server, you know. But in order for the internet to find it, you got to have a domain name. I mean, well, you could just give out your IP address of your server, but you can't do that to the whole world, you know. You know, that's the whole thing about having a domain name. All machine addresses are really IP addresses, you know, either IPv4 or IPv6, and or both, you know. I mean, you always get both unless you turn off. Well, people generally like setting up a DNS server. They're just telling you, I'll just turn off IPv6. It's not needed, you know. Which the whole thing several years ago now. Seems like it was 10 years now, or maybe not that long ago, when they were saying we've got to have IPv6 because we're out of IPv4 numbers. You know, we're out of the IP numbers, and now we've just got both. But you know, I haven't had much use for the sixes. I mean, you can't remember them or anything. They're long, look like a MAC address. They're long and mixed up looking, and so anyway. Okay, this shortener, shortener.godaddy.com is where we're at, and I clicked on one of them on my bishopco.com, and this is what's set on it. And like I said, I didn't set it, and so this is the page. This is the setting page for the shortener, and this is what was all in there. But it's not all of everything that I have forwarded either. So that's why I'm just, what in the heck? I mean, if I did it, I don't remember doing it. So anyway, my main website, which that I think is why I keep getting these errors where you get these I was like, how am I getting a GoDaddy page error on my website? I've never got that before. Well, this is it. I know that much, whether this was automatic or I set it up and forgot or what. And then I have a couple subdomains, and then DonsSongs.com is set up. And I think that's what's throwing it back to this page. When I get errors to this page, that's why. And Psalm68.com, but I also have Psalm68.org, and it's not set. It doesn't have one in here. Bishopco.biz doesn't have one in here. So this may be what's been making my site go up and down, because it takes a little long. When it seems to me, well, I think it's trying to go here first to shorten the URL, and then that doesn't work. So then that makes it take longer to load the page, and then my testers, you know, they're I don't know what they're set on. I know one of them you could set it anywhere from 10 seconds to 30 seconds or a minute even. I think probably 30 seconds before it said it was timed out. And one of them, the one that I keep getting all the errors on, I don't think I found a place to change those settings. But anyway, I get them more from one than I do the other. I was thinking about showing all of them in my email, but one's called Uptime Robot, and the other one's called, let's see. I'll just go Uptime Robot. I'll just log in and see what it's showing right now. And the other one, if I can think of it, I'll do that too. Okay, so right now it says DonsSongs.com is down. Was up for an hour. According to this one, bishopco.com has been up for 3 hours. DonsSongs.com was down for an hour, 2 hours. Let's see. Then the rest of them were up. And bishopco.biz, it says it was up for 6 hours, but it it may have been up for longer than that. Let's see. I can't think. Okay, well, let's go. I was tired. There we go. I think it's this one here. I used to have 3. One of them doesn't work anymore. Oh yeah, this one. It says right there. I put a note in there. It doesn't work anymore. Just quit working. I think that I don't know what if I didn't use it often enough, and they got rid of my account or what. But I couldn't log in anymore. Okay, so see, this one's showing the same thing though, but it's showing well, pretty much the same thing. This is the one that will only do it every 30 minutes, and that's as often as you can do it. But I think this is also the one where you can set the time out to a little bit longer time, so it doesn't give you as many really false readings. I mean, if it's loading slow, it's not good, but you don't need to say that. No, you don't want to think the site's down. This one I can't add bishopco.biz. They don't allow anymore than 3, so I didn't add it. And actually, I just added bishopco.biz to this one the other day. That's how how I know. Like if that's how I know before it gets. The other one's like every 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something. It tests. That's why I get a lot from it, or get more from it. So well, let's close that until we get back. Now. So that may be part of my problem, and I decided, I looked at another one that's still on this Shortner, Psalm 68, and it was the same. There's only 2. You can either go to the base page of the website or go to bad link page. That's the choice. Just 2 choices you have there. Because I thought, well, what are the choices? And I tried to go to an IP address that I got from. These may seem a bit random. Actually, they may be out of order now that I look at this. Let's see. Man, I'm not so sure that this viewer doesn't put them in the same order as the one that I like that's gotten a GrandView that's gotten to use more resources. I think I should have opened it up and I won't be sure if it's doing it the way I want it to unless I do that. So let's see. Now I won't know where to be. This is the 15th though, so I think I think I do know where to be. 11. I know I had a lot of screenshots. Okay, 11:15. I was worried about it's just crazy. See, look at that. Opening up, it's using 7% of the CPU's resources, and and it'll settle down here in a little bit, but it'll get down. Now it's 2s, and when something's using a lot, it makes ksysguard. This is ksysguard right here. Use up some too, which is kind of weird. Xorg, that's the graphic user interface, and this is normal, but that's why I wasn't going to use that at first. Let's see. Okay, that's one of the videos I was watching, and I won't go into that. That's a website where you could download a script. Let's see. That's the video I was watching, and that's his website. Good teacher. Kind of hard to follow. He has a real thick accent and goes fast, but he's really good. Really, really knows it. I mean, boy, does he know this stuff. And that's his name, Bram Sangwan. And anyway, that was this free download of a script. Now, I really would like to be able to use that script if I can get to where I understand how to use it and set it up. I'll have to change it. You know, he'll let you download it. Of course, you're going to have to change the domain names and IP addresses and stuff in it. But it will automatically generate, and you have to sign up and give them your email. And I don't like that. That's why I didn't do it. I didn't want to do all that unless I'm sure I want it. It's like you're buying something, but it's free. You know, they do that on some of these. This is a website. He runs a website here where you pay for classes, but he has, you know, free videos on YouTube. That's where I saw the videos. So, yeah, this is some more of that. I didn't mean to get that, but I was just going by the date. I didn't know. I'm just going to keep on flipping through them. This is where he was teaching about his script and showing his script. And sometimes I can follow back through these screenshots and remember what they were talking about, and then sometimes it gets away from me. This one I didn't really understand enough of it, but if I don't do something, I won't remember it for sure. So, and also at the time I didn't know that he was going to give a page that you could download. So now I'm back where I started, but I think this will be should be in the exact order that I took the screenshots. That's what I want to show it in. Yeah, see, that's why everything was so confusing. No, it's still, yeah, that's still the way it was in that other. It may not make any difference. Whatever that IP was, I got it out of Godaddy. I know that, and that's one of the IPs that was in my setup pages. And like here, okay, let's see. 221.1. Well, it's not one of these. Yeah, here it is. That is it right there. So I was trying to go to that IP. And this is what I get: website unavailable. This is for Psalm68.org. Now I didn't put this in there. Something is putting this in there. And I used to have. I remember that I used to have a blog that they gave you for free, and I tried to see if it was there, and it wasn't there. And I guess they discontinued it. This is a subdomain that I made. And now here's my Psalm68.org, and that's, I think that's on the forwarding. I think I probably have it masked so that it doesn't show where it was really going. Some of them I had masked and some of them didn't. Now I tried to ping one of those IP addresses, that blog, I think. Yeah, 8014. Yeah, 8014. I tried not to ping it, but I tried to nmap scan it, the full scan, intense scan. And I've never seen so many. It said, somewhere in here, it said there was, I forget, 1,000 or something open ports. And then it started scanning them. Oh, yeah, here it is. This is at the bottom. Okay, this is at the bottom of the page. It's still scanning after probably 20 minutes at least of letting it scan. It was only 3.52%. I think I got up to 6% before I quit. Done. And so I was like, wait a minute, this is going to take forever. And then I started remembering, I've done this before. It's going to take forever. So these are all open ports. All of these are open ports. But then it saw that they're open. Now it's going to scan them and see what is in, what services are available in those ports. And I'm hitting that key over and over and over, the next key. So the scan is running. I was going to see if I could save it and get out and then just quit. And it said, no, you can't save it while it's running. So I couldn't remember. So anyway, I ended up stopping it. Oh, there it is, cancel. I ended up canceling it. And then I ended up, just canceling it. And so where am I at now? Okay, so I'm back at my host names. Song68.org, and I was seeing DNS management. It said, I saw something in here that said you could basically you're just creating an alias, I think, or a it looks more like, hostname.psalm68, then you put in the IPv4 or IPv6 address. So that wasn't going to help me. It was saying you could put these in your zone files instead of IP addresses. But if it's got but it's still got to point to an IP address. So what's the point, really, to me? So anyway, I don't know if they're going to call this what you put in there as an alias, or I forgot the word again, subdomain. Okay, and so I was doing it backwards because I didn't know that I was like, oh, I want to screenshot that. Oh, well, what is it about? Host names let you use your domain instead of an IP address to identify your name servers. This is what I was trying to get at. So that's what that's for. And I thought, well, I don't think that'll make anything any easier for me. Maybe just make it more confusing. So here's your bishopco.us.2. That's where, and I was downloading the export the zone file. You just let you download it as a text file. And I took Unix because, Linux is based on Unix, if you didn't already know that. And of course, Fedora 28 that I built my server on is Linux, Fedora 28 Linux. But so there's where you're downloading one, and then then I discovered something I thought was the coolest thing ever. Something I was wishing they had. Create DNS templates to store sets of DNS information that you can easily apply to your domain names. This is a website builder. I had one free website with some 68. I think you have up to a 5-page website for, I think every domain name has that. I started working on it and I didn't care for it a lot, and so I didn't finish it. But of course, they have all these features that cost more, if you want to pay for it. But and evidently you still only get 5. I don't know if you get more. You can get more pages or not. But for $10 a month, that's what it used to cost me for my web. It may have gone up a lot, but it's over 10 years. I guess it's been 10 years now since I used to host my websites on there. Have them host my websites, and I was paying about $10 a month, about that. And I had, what I had was all my HTML websites uploaded on there via FTP. But then they started introducing dynamic websites, and that's where I learned about dynamic websites. And I would set them up on there, and I was trying to change all my websites from just straight HTML to dynamic websites. And it was a lot of work, and I just never got finished putting all the information, even just copying and pasting it, trying to do it but it's one section at a time, not one whole page, because you had to put it into like a wizard, you had to put a little bit here and a little bit there, and it was just worse than building one in an HTML website builder. It was a lot more work, and so I never ended up doing it. But I thought, well, I'm going to set up my own. And then the other thing was they quit letting you see. Yeah, they quit. Used to, I could have my MP3 music files on there. Well, then when the whole world went crazy about copyrights, these are my music. I wrote, I sung, recorded with some friends, and it's my stuff, And I wrote the lyrics, I did the singing, other people played the music, but we all agreed to do it together. So, I own the copyrights on them. But nobody will hardly let you host your music files anymore because of copyright trolls. You're so worried about getting sued. So that's what put me. I was always interested in running my own servers, but that's what put me into doing it. It is a lot of trouble. You always got to. If you want to keep it going, you've got to jump right when it goes down and fix it, and all that stuff. So, but I wouldn't be able to handle it for anybody but myself. That's for sure. I used to think maybe I could make money doing it, but you got to have enough bandwidth, I got enough old computers. I thought, well, I can take all these old computers and turn them into servers, but then I wouldn't have the bandwidth for the traffic, and it costs an outrageous lot of money to try to. Well, even I looked at with price to commercial internet, business internet, but it's not any faster than regular home internet, and and they don't have any features. They don't give you no more bandwidth. No, when I say faster, I mean more everything all together, and so it's just not something you can hardly do unless you have lots and lots of money. So anyway. And you really ought to be, now that I'm learning more about real servers, you really need to be using real servers to do that anyway. So this is just some more of that. We're looking at what that, that first free versus paying for stuff on that website. So here's a template I made, and so when I was trying to make it, let's see, I don't know if this is the one I used. Oh, I was trying to figure out how to make it by just filling in the form, and I thought, well, probably a lot of times, if you want to do more than one website, you can put them in there with a comma in between them and stuff. And it said, no, you don't put that in there. It said you put, enter your host name as an ampersand, subdomain, like that, or a wildcard. So I said, okay. And I thought, well, what did I look at here? So do you want to copy all of the records from the zone file? And I said, yes. Now this is, I think that I canceled that, right? Okay, so then I went on and I was doing something else. But anyway, I went through there and seen what is it they're talking about. And it was all all this stuff is just what they put in there, all that email stuff, I don't do anything with that. That's set up automatically by them. And so I copied it to a template. And then it said, okay, do you want to run it? Okay, I made one, and I did it the way they said. And I think I made it. I know I made one with what I was trying to get to is, okay, it said a wildcard. So, okay, wildcard, that's what I want. So I think that's what I was doing. I guess I failed to make another screenshot of that. And then it said, do you want to copy all this stuff in there? And I said, yes. You know what? That might have been the one to do after all. See, what I was worried about, I didn't want to use the ampersand because I thought, okay, I know there's this one doesn't have an ampersand. Oh, well, this is different. Okay, so anyway, this is what it was copying. I'm getting turned around. Do you want to apply it? And I thought, no, I'm not sure what that's going to do, so I didn't do that. And so I deleted it. And then I tried messing around with that website, and it had a website builder, and that might be one other reason why I never finished it. It wouldn't load. It never did load forever. I let it run for quite a long time, trying to load. It never did load, so I closed that. So then I was fixing to give up on that. Yeah, there it is, the ampersand. I did one with an ampersand. That's the one with the ampersand. But went ahead and did, with the wildcard. Went ahead and made one with a wildcard, and that worked. And then I decided, no, I'm not going to run it. So the first, I don't know what the other one was. Then I decided to make one with the ampersand. But see, there's all these others. And I thought, okay, is that going to affect these as well? And I didn't want to break all those. So I kind of went back and forth. I deleted that one. And then I went to doing some research. And I found this, and just by accident, this part here, but cPanel, little c with a panel, that is a very common Linux hosting remote admin. Like Webmin is one I remembered that's really well liked in Linux circles. But this is the one that's used in enterprise, and this is I remembered I used to use it when I had my websites on GoDaddy. That's what they use for their. You can pick Linux hosting, Windows hosting, Mac hosting, actual Unix hosting, I think you can, when you pick what you want your website hosted on. And so, I had gotten into Linux, so I was hosting mine on Linux, and then so I learned to use the cPanel. And it's, it's just it's kind of a wizard, sometimes there's a wizard. Usually it's just like, kind of like this website, like just all this stuff it doesn't have as many instructions. But anyway, that's what I was thinking about. Oh, maybe I can install that on my Fedora 28 system. I was thinking about Webmin, and I didn't try to install anything because one thing I figured, I actually, as hard as it can be to work in the command line, it can also be even harder unless you completely have a full overview of it all in your head. To use some of these graphic user interfaces, they can be even harder sometimes. knowing what you're doing and where it's ending up, just like what I was just going through on these screenshots. That's a good example. It in a way it's simpler, and in a way it's harder, because everybody's idea of explaining stuff and using, all these this is what's happening, these fill in the blanks, can really be harder than just reading the text, in the command line. So then the next page was about, this was one about using the wildcard, but I was logged in, so they actually listed my actual domain. So I wanted those to make, I copied and pasted them in here and made one with, I was looking, I noticed it had name server, and I was like, oh, what would happen if you do that? So I kind of looked at it, and then I accidentally left that in there, and I did an ampersand and my external IP address, and I was going to make another template. And it gave me an error because I had put name server in there, and it says, no, with the name server you do DNS so-and-so, so-and-so. And they said nameserver.tld. I don't know if you have to. Yeah, I've never seen that in any of those instructions on how to set up a name server. I've never seen that .tld. That might be important. Maybe why am I may have to name might have to name it bishopco, ns1.bishopco. Of course, I named it .biz, my zone file. Well, my zone file, that's fine. I can name it whatever I want, but I may have to have a .tld. I don't know. That's what it says right there. It gave me a clue. So anyway, I've changed it to the A record, and that's whatever. I remember I learned to call them that a long time ago. See, that's records, a type A record, an A record. And then the ampersand is kind of like a wild card, but it applies to everything with an A with an ampersand in front of it. And I'll show you. So I set it up, and I said, okay, and you click that to run it. And so I said, okay, I copied and pasted. I was showing you that other page. It was just for me. I just used it to copy and paste all those in there so I would spell them right. And so then I deleted all the extraneous, stuff. It was all in up and down, it had returns in it, and just put a comma in between each one. And then I got to thinking, you know what? I'm going to take bishopco.biz out because it's work. I don't need to do it to it. It already has that external IP in it, and it's working great. So I took it out, and I thought, oh, maybe I should just do one. And I thought, well, I want to do them all. Click. Okay, so yes, it worked. Okay, now at first I went over there and everything looked the same. It hadn't changed. Well, that's because it hadn't taken effect yet. So I went down here and was just looking through it. This is psalm68.org, and it's one of the ones I did. See, I did all of them except for bishopco.biz. So I was just, looking through and seeing what was going on. And I knew it would probably, I was hitting reload, and it would probably take a minute. And then I tried to go to psalm68.org, and it wasn't loading. It put that extra folder in there, that evidently is where it sends you to go give you the error page. That these they look like auto-generated folder names. And so now it says an error occurred while applying your template. If this issue continues, contact support. So now it's really loud over there. Okay, but look what I got. Everything that had ampersand in it, it tried to change it, but it couldn't, which luckily, because see, it was going to try to change my name server records, my SOA record. Now, that's a name server. That's to do with your name servers too. But I guess that maybe they were locked and it couldn't change them. But what it did do, it deleted everything to do with, mail and mobile viewable web pages and all those things to make them work with mobiles and all that stuff done in there. But hey, it works perfectly. Or at least it did. I think I fooled myself because I went to it and it worked, right? I think, and this is psalm68.org, and see, it looks the same. Well, that's the one I was looking at. So it looked like it works, but I think it just hadn't taken effect yet. Because in a minute we'll see. So this is all I have in there, and I guess that's what I still haven't looked again in an hour or so. Oh, I keep trying to click on things like I'm thinking I'm on the internet. Okay, so but my name servers are still the same. The forwarding is still showing up to be there at that time. And then I think it finally finished loading, and so it's like that. That's bishopco.com. I went to the other one to check it. Yeah, that's not the same one. And it's got the right IP address. I think that was after, I think I noticed that, hey, it's that message went away, the error message. And so it's got the same, and the forwarding's gone. It took the forwarding out, which I figured it would, and I wanted it to, And the name servers are the same and everything, which I'm glad I didn't lose those. And song68.com, it's the same. Every one of them that I did it to ended up the same. I was looking at .org, and now I'm looking at .com. Song68.org and .com. I have those both, like that. And so all the forwarding is gone. DonsSongs.com, it worked. But it took everything else out. And it took the forwarding out. And the only one that didn't ruin is this one. So now my email, I have email addresses with DonsSongs and Psalm68, and they're not working. I noticed that because I opened my email program. Of course, they're not. See, it broke everything, all this stuff. And, oops, I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. I'm using my mouse. Your keyboard, right and left, I'm using the right and left arrow keys to move through this, and my mouse so that I can point so it's got me sitting real crooked in the chair, and kind of hard to figure out what I'm doing. Guess I can quit doing that and just move my hand. I can pick up my hand and move it over to the mouse. It just seemed more convenient at first. Okay, now this is still Psalm 68. I don't know which one it is now. Oh, bishopco.biz shows it right there at the top. And this still is. So, and this is Psalm68.org again. I'm looking back. I'm hoping that stuff will be automatically repopulated. I thought, maybe they'll fix it. Maybe it'll just come back in a little bit, because I was thinking maybe I remember that happening. Now, DonsSongs.com at that time was working. bishopco.biz is working. Oh, wait, it's working, but where is it? Wait a minute. Those pages look the same. Look at that. You look at the top left, every single one. I'll go back again. So DonsSongs.com, that's actually bishopco.com. Bishopco.biz, well, they were supposed to be the same. Bishopco.com, this is bishopco.com's main page. Those two are supposed to be the same, biz and .com. Song68.com is supposed to go to Psalm 68's website, and so was DonsSongs. And the DonsSongs at the top fools me sometimes. That's just an icon, a link to, actually that's not DonsSongs, that's DonsDeals. I was originally thinking about having a website called DonsDeals, and I was going to make lists of shopping, like finding back in those, back in the early 2000s, it was a pretty big deal to find good deals on the internet. It wasn't easy to find stuff, and there was people making websites, and I was always doing that. I was always just kind of monitoring the prices. Well, I used to sell stuff, so I was really into that. So I had kind of thought, okay, so if I make a website with good deals on it, and then also put my deals in there too, mixed with them. Well, that was before I even built my selling website. Yeah, first I thought about just making a website with good, just finding good deals. And then I thought, then I really decided to start selling sound gear and stuff myself, pro audio gear. And so then I thought, well, maybe I can incorporate that into that. But in the meantime, I fooled around a year or so, and somebody else got the DonsDeals domain. So I never got that domain. But I still liked calling them DonsDeals. So originally the website, I was selling stuff. So, I changed it to, I can't scroll the page down. I put classified ads on it that are free, and I never did change that. I mean, they're still active and everything, but you can either shop or put your own ad on there. I mean, this is from some ePage, I guess it's called. Yeah, I think it's epage.com that provides that. But and you're supposed to get affiliate money links. You're supposed to be able to make money, but I never made a single penny off of it for all years. But I never took it down because I wanted to have something to have on my website. And I couldn't sell stuff anymore. I couldn't compete with Guitar Center. And it was musiciansfriend.com, and now I think they have that and Guitar Center websites. But back in those days, it was Musician's Friend. For some reason, Guitar Center didn't have a website named Guitar Center. And so there's I applied my template. That's when that finally showed up, I guess. Success your template has been applied. Yeah, I already figured that out, and I'm dying to figure out how to. Cannot stop that. Cannot take it. So I deleted it. Oh, that's why I went back there to delete it. So I deleted the template, and then I was looking through all my domains, and so some68.org has still just got that basic stuff. No more email stuff left in it, configurations or anything. So I was looking at everything I could look at. I thought, well, maybe if I change the time to live to 1/2 hour, it'll refresh and get everything else back. But that didn't make any difference. And so I decided to set, let's see, features may be unavailable while process your updates. Some updates require confirmation. Please check. I went and looked at my email. I thought, okay, maybe they've sent me an email and I can say, no, I didn't want to do that, undo it, but I didn't get an email at all. So it says some updates. So website was still working right then. Now that's what's crazy. Okay, that's back to see, fools me every time. I still think that says Don Songs. I guess I should take that off of there. That's bishopco.biz, and now I set it to Don Songs. I might have went there, like hand typed that in, but there's what it's supposed to go to. I don't remember how I got there now. I was so there's still back checking it over, trying to figure things out. And I went back to that short page I was talking about, looking at it. I think not sure how I got to that page, if I typed in Don Songs, or I think I just went to it to see what it was about again. And so you could choose a short link. And I think that's what one of the thing that's been fouling me up, though. Bishopco.com wouldn't work then all of a sudden. Oh, that's www at bishopco.com. That didn't work. And it doesn't work because of what I did. I knew that right away, because that's one of the that's actually www is an alias. Alias. And I took it out by accident doing what I did. Bishopco.biz works. I'm not sure why I have some. Oh, it must be the end of the screenshots. It must be the end of the screenshots, because it won't go any further. So 4/9/22. Let's see if that's the beginning of it or the end of it. Yep. So that's the end of the screenshot fun. I don't know if that was helpful or not. Okay, I mean, if it was helpful to explain. I'm doing this for myself as well as anybody else, because I got so turned around in it. And you think I was turned around trying to go through those screenshots. You should have been with me for those several hours there while I was doing that. Okay, so I'm still logged in, I think. Let's see. Don Songs is the one I care about the most. Let's see. I'm sure it's still going to be just like it was. Yeah, it's still just like it was. Oh, but its IP address has changed, and that's why it's down. Let's make sure it's still down. I'll show you what I've been talking about. Okay, see it. everything's working on our side. Either wrong or has been retired. That's a heck of a message, isn't it? Okay, so the domain, those didn't get changed, but I forwarded it, but I thought, okay, how about if I forward it? DonsSongs.com goes to, I had I wasn't thinking right because it's going to there. And it wasn't like that when I did the forward, though. And let's see if this even has a place that it goes to. No, it goes to URL shortener. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. This is why I suspected of breaking everything. There's something wrong with all that. Why did it change? All I did was forward it. It used to go to my external IP address. I changed it with that script. And, of course, messed everything else up, but it was working. So all I did was forward it. I said permanent. Maybe I should. Now, here's the other thing. Let's see if it does it again. No, it doesn't work. Before, when you clicked preview, it would work. So what I need to do, bishopco.com. There we go. Perfect. And now that I'm not going through my bishopco.us to, that thing, now the page goes where it's supposed to. That's fixed. That's why I didn't edit my website, because I knew it had worked for years. That works. That's what's supposed to happen. That goes to my Living Beings album, but this one doesn't work. I know why this one doesn't work, because the link in it is www.bishop. I don't know why I have one as bishopco.com. Look at the bottom left, bishopco.com Living Beings. This one is www.bishopco.com. Don Songs 002. It might have been a reason why. It might have been because it wasn't working right now. That made it work. But this one is broken, though, because of me. Not because of the URL shortener. That's because of me breaking the whole thing. So I got to get all that back. And I can add that stuff. I don't know how. So unless I can find a place to, and I looked, and I haven't found a place to like restore to everything up here to defaults. You can do that. You can set these to defaults. And I'm not using the masking right now. It kind of looks better when you use the masking, but I'm not using it because I need to know where it's really going, So the funny thing is when I did it the other way with DonsSongs.com, it worked. But that was before the IP address got changed by that shortening crap. So I did say, I said update my name servers and DNS settings to support these changes. Now, I always do that to be safe, because I figure they know better than I do about how to set all that. But that might have been what did that. But I was also hoping that would fix what I've messed up, update my name servers and everything. Thought maybe it would put all my email stuff back in. But by now, it's been a couple of hours or more, 3 maybe, since I did that. I guess if I'd have paid attention to the times, well, last updated 11:15 at 3:16 a.m. It's 7:08 a.m. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's been 4 hours. So let's see, DonsSongs.com. It should be okay. It's not okay. Why is it not okay? Okay. Let's go to Bishop Co. That's good. It's still broke. You always got to reload though before you say. You make sure your cache is not. Sometimes you got to do it several times. Sometimes the cache in your web browser is throwing you off, so you got to be careful about that. Now it's just taking forever to load because I clicked too many times, getting aggravated with it. Sometimes it helps to close the page and open a new page when that happens. Okay, it's still showing to be broke. sometimes that's why I use like ZenMap and stuff like that to make sure that it's. Sometimes you'll think it's broke because of your cache in your browser. You could go clear cache, but you'll clear everything. Let's see. Can't always go to a. There's one way to do it, and that's go in another browser. That can be helpful. I think I'll try that. Let's see, what do I got? I got Chromium. Think I don't. As long as I don't put. We'll figure it out in the last year or so, or maybe longer now. But if you'll, I love to have all my favorite bookmarks, favorites, and all that stuff. You know, from years and years. Just look how long it's taken Chromium to open up, and I don't think but I did not. I don't believe I ever imported in my bookmarks. I know Chrome's worse, 10 times worse than Firefox on that. If I import all my bookmarks from from my Google account from all years past, it will not run. It will get so resource hungry that it won't run. It's just running all kinds of scripts and crap in the background. And that's the other thing, when you click on that, if you click one time, the very first time, it'll cover it off so you can type. And after that, you can't get it to select everything. You got to slide across it, and drives me nuts. I know it's picayune, but it just drives me nuts. Okay, now looky there, it's up. So I'm glad I did that. Let's see how we're doing on our resource. Yeah, we're still okay. I can't run it for a long time though. You know, Chrome and Firefox. But so now it's up. So there we go. So if you're developing, now I don't have it set up, but unless it did it out of, let's make sure it didn't do it out of its memory. I don't think it would. Firefox developer version is kind of set. I don't have it installed on this machine, do I? It has a blue icon, but it's a Firefox icon. And for a minute, I thought it's good to use that when you're doing this. That's what you're doing. You're developing. You know, you're doing development work of your website. So that's working. And that one, it just says can't be reached. So, but I know why that's not working, because it's not working. Okay, so yeah, checking it. You got to be careful. You never know. And that's probably could have been part of my. That's all those screenshots where it was up, seemed to be up, seemed to be down. I'm gonna quit. I'm just gonna quit loading them in Firefox, because I think it's got to. Let's see, history. Where is it? Not history. It's cache that you need to clear. I guess it might be in this part here in the preferences, or at least you could find it. That's just talking about cookies. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's just cookies. These two could just clear your internet cache and cookies, or don't bother the cookies. So I don't know. They might have changed it. So that should work. As long as bishopco.com is going, and that there, I can change that, and I think I will. Let's see. I'm trying to get back. There we go. I hit back on my mouse and it didn't go back. As long as bishopco.com is still, I'll have to manually put this in though. Let's see. Your domain estimated value. Then when you turn on auto renew, I thought it was an error message. Okay, so as long as it's hard coded, I'd say to my external IP. Of course, when my external IP changes, that's why I wanted to see if I could use that script, because I could just go in there and run that script on my websites every time my IP changed, instead of having to go and do each one at a time. It's not that bad, but it's not fun either, and it's always something you could mess up, you know. So anyway, I copied that, and I'm just going to go put it back in there. And I'm worried. I mean, as much turnaround as I have been today, messing with this. Well, I have been this whole couple of weeks. I've been trying to get this DNS up and working. Oh, okay. When I put the forwarding in there, for some reason, I can't now see. It won't let me change that. I know what last time I took out the forwarding, and that says permanent too. I took out the forwarding. I guess maybe I should. I'm wondering if I should uncheck that. But let's see. Yeah, I'm going to just do it and see what happens. I'm going to delete the forward, and I should be able to. Oh yeah, no, I may get an email, but I won't. I don't believe, because I haven't. Well, I never have lately. Okay, now see, now it says it's parked. Of course, you don't want to leave it like that. Well, let's see if it shows it. Well, let's just go to Chrome and reload. It'll probably go to the parked page. Should. Let's go here and do it. Might have to install that Firefox developer version to be able to. Okay, well now it's just showing the same thing it was a while ago. It's not quite done loading, but as badly as I messed things up already, it's not doing anything. It just seems like it's fine. You know, it's not saying it can't load it or anything. I'm going to close this file manager and try to leave both of those open. Okay, so anyway, what I want to do is time to live custom. I'm going to put it back on an hour. That's why it was 600 minutes, because okay, I hit enter and it saved it. Just did that out of habit, or it's trying to save it anyway. I guess I was going to say, is my internet working okay? I don't know why my volume wasn't the my volume on my tablet. My laptop. I haven't changed it in months, and or a couple, at least a few weeks. There we go. Now, see what happens when I go to. Okay, it still says not found, but it's probably not done doing the changes yet either. But it is back to not found. See, I guess it's really good to just. You have to know your browser. Some browsers will go back to their own cache if you can't find a page, instead of showing you, hey, it's not there. Chrome. I don't know. I don't use Chrome hardly at all, so I don't know how it behaves. But I'm thinking that see, I don't search in the I'm old school. I type URLs belong in there, and the searching in that window drives me nuts. I hate it. So I like to use the little on the side for the searching, and the address bar is an address bar. I don't like it to search, so that's why. I was looking for developer. Yeah, Firefox Developer Edition. You don't actually have to I'm just going to put it in there. You don't actually install it, or I don't. Save it. And see, I got VTZilla set up to automatically scan everything I download, which is good. It can be a bit of a pain. You don't actually want everything scanned. You got to set it to just scan. Don't tell it. The default is to pause the download and scan it, and then continue after you get a chance to check it out. But it breaks almost all downloads. So And if you really, if you want to wait on it, I mean, it's done downloading. It's the scanning that's taking a bit because it's uploading that file to them and they're scanning it. So that's a good size file. So it's going to take a minute. I'm just going to go ahead and set it up because it'll help me out tremendously with what I'm doing here. So go to my home directory here. Yeah, I'm going to have to make me a folder, but I'll wait until I get that. Firefox, I want to, let's see, yeah, there we go. You can go, that's what you need to do. I held down the control with and then clicked on the link so I didn't lose my place. But see, it's a clean file, clean. There's two scans you get, a scan of the page and a scan of the file. I always forget which one is which. For the longest time, I was just clicking on the top one and just thinking the second one was redundant. But one of them will actually say that it's a file. See, like there, you can't really tell. Let's see. Yeah, there's the file. If you click on the details, it's the file that's it, and so it's okay. And then this one is not done yet, so still working on it, populating it. But see, it's using. There's something a little different about each one. That's the file. Yeah, this one. Oh, that is the file. So that's the file results. Like I said, yeah, the top one is. You can find. Well, it depends on what kind of page it is. Some pages some downloads go to a page, and then there's a download script on the page. And so that's this one. I guess just actually goes. See, this is. It's still going through the. Yeah, now it's finally done. It did that to me, it just went away, reloaded on its own. So 0 and 54 have any. Oh, now there's details. Okay, so I usually don't go into all that, but so yeah, you'd be surprised how many well-known websites you'll end up getting something full of bad. Like one time I was something I was never would have expected, but I had a feeling I should check it, and of course if I download a file it does it automatically, but I wasn't going to look at it. That's what it was. I wasn't going to click on it, and I did, and it was like one of these was one link was 5 out of 60 something or 70 or whatever. The other one was like 7 or 8 out of it that reported bad. I was like, holy crap. Generally, if there's even one, I don't want the file. If it's for a Windows system, I don't. Now, if it's a Linux, and there's more false positives in Linux with some virus scanners. So let's see. I want to see if I have to. So I don't think you're going to need to install it. I don't see anything on this page about it, but it never have before. I'm going to double click on it so I can I'm going to open it up in another program. Crusader has always opened it up within itself. Maybe I don't have it set right. That is on built-in. Of course, it could be because it's a BZ2. Might not be in my Firefox. I may not have that support in it. Anyway, that right there should be what would start it up and run it. Yeah. So you don't. Wait. Yeah. I'm not going to install it anyway. So Firefox Developer. I just want to make sure I spell it right. I want to make me a folder. I don't know if I want. Yeah, I think I'll do it that way. That way I'll see it easier. Well, yeah, because I'm not going to be. Well, there is one thing. No, I wouldn't need to be like going to that in the terminal if I did. No, yeah, that's not going to be good. That looks like it's going to take my eye, and I'm going to think it's one of my documents folder. Okay, now what I'll do is unpack. And once that's unpacked, all I need to do is make me a link to the desktop once it gets unpacked over there. I guess I did it right. Should have already had some files in that folder by now. I must have done it wrong. Just hang on for a minute. Oh, wait. No, there's no progress up there in that little blue bar. I might have missed the click. Oh, nope. It just took that long. Good. Almost messed up again. Okay, desktop. Now there wasn't no progress bar, was there? Now what they do, you don't want the SIG file, you want or a bin file. Yeah, you want the one with the little icon. You can even test it and make sure, just double click on it and it should open it up. Over here in the space that I want it to be in. But it uses the .mozilla for the back end of it. It'll use your existing .mozilla. This works if you like this if you already have Firefox. Actually, I think this one would run anyway, but oh, it didn't make it over there. But I didn't get over there fast enough. But here it is. So put it over there anyway. Okay, now I'm going to right click on that and say link handling, new symlink. Firefox. Now this one I will do that way. Firefox Quantum Developer. I'll just do that. That's fine. You don't want to have the same name as this one, or it won't. It'll just not do anything. I want to move it over to the desktop. I'm so glad Fedora brought back the desktop folder. Now, see, I've got me a. Only thing I need now is the icon. And I believe, oh, that's not going to be it. I have to go get it. What's funny is, there it is right there. I wonder if I can save it. Save. I don't know if it's a regular image or not. Let's see. No, it's not. Save page. There'll be icons somewhere in there. There may not be in here. Only one icon. It might be, I'm going to search for it anyway. Let's see. Can't remember where, oh, okay. Firefox icons, Firefox browser, Chrome icons. Are you kidding me? Let's see if any of these are it. Yep. Why Chrome? I don't want 16. I don't 128 maybe. Default 32, 48. See, they'll automatically resize anyway. I don't want that big a one. I want 64. Yeah, I want 64. Okay, so now go over here to this. Oh, on the desktop, yeah, I'll still go with 64. Okay, properties. Now watch. Oh, let me do it. Click on the icon. Now I got to get to my home. Firefox developer. Browser. Chrome of all places. Why do they have Chrome? The word Chrome, why is it even in Firefox? I don't understand that. It is. It's always been in there. There we go. Okay, now actually, you know what I think you can do? I think you can drag one of these up here. Create a launcher. It doesn't have an icon either. forgot how you change the icon in there. Oh, right there. Yeah, I don't want that as my icon. I might want something a little smaller than that's 64, 32. Huh. I'm going to go with 64 because I think it'll fit up there. Yeah, it works. And it looks better. I think it'll look better. Now, I'm going to put it right next to my regular Firefox. But I always do that. Well, it helps me know I've got it installed, if nothing else. I used to use them because I didn't know the easy way to do that. So there we go. That's the easy way to do that. Okay, so screenshot for my further information, for my future information. Let's see. I don't know what I need in, but I do want to be able to look in on that at times. So I'll close that. Okay. Now the whole reason I did that is now it's not going to have any add-ons or anything, and I'm not going to worry about anything right now. Spent enough time doing that. Is because I wanted to be able to, okay, so DonsDeals.com works. And it works over here now. It's been long enough for me since I did my last changes. But you won't have, okay, but notice that was my website, but look what happened. Didn't that go? Okay, it's going to bishopco.com. Boy. It went. Okay, now it works in regular Firefox. What's going on there? LNSONGS.com. But it's I have learned in the past anyway. Of course, I don't have everything set up the way I want it, but generally, I don't think you really have to do anything for this to happen. Generally, this will go to the right place. It doesn't cache things as much and everything. But why does this one show to work and this one show not to work? Is it that darn URL shortener thing? There's my external IP. It's not okay. It's not forwarded to anywhere. So for some reason, yeah, this one I'm going to figure is wrong. I do need that folder. I don't know that. Well, I used to know it by heart, but right this minute I don't know anything by heart. Forwarding. There it is. I've used it just a while ago. Bishop. I did type it in, and I can always mess up. Bishop 98 index HTML. Hit the preview. Of course, that worked last time when I put DonsDeals.com forwarding. Now, I'm not going to say update my name servers and all that stuff because I think that's how come it changed the IP address 5, 10 minutes after I did it. Now, see, it's good. And it takes a little while to do the changes. Okay. So, that doesn't mean I fixed anything to do with my mess up, and I don't think it's going to fix itself. It's not reloading, though, as well, it might not have been long enough yet for the forwarding to work. It does take anywhere from a couple of minutes to 10, 20, 30 minutes. And sometimes, as I've said, it takes several hours. There's even a few times years ago when it took the next day it seems like the more you change things back and forth, the longer it takes to do it. I don't know if it delays it because it's afraid somebody's messing with your site, like the system does it, or I'll just wait on it. Sometimes it helps to go to a different page and then come back. I'll do that. Now that's bishopco.biz. See, now.com it doesn't go to us.2. This is actually bishopco.com. So that did fix my problems. Okay, Dawn Songs is still just like it was. It fixed my problems. Well, like I said, it didn't fix all my links. Well, because I broke this stuff, it didn't fix all my links. So now my throat's gotten all dry now. Oh, that's good. I remembered when I was eating supper about an hour ago. Let me get a cough drop. And I kept having such much drainage, I thought I'm going to have to take, another allergy pill. But now I'm glad I didn't, because the drainage is bearable now, and my mouth is so dry that I can hardly talk. I don't know. I haven't had a pill in several hours, so it might just because the heater's running a lot, because it's 34 degrees outside, and it's 79.7 in here, so the heater's running like crazy. No, I didn't set it to do that. I never do. I'd prefer to be 74, 75 degrees all the time. That's what I like. Okay, so close. What was I fixing to do? Now it doesn't want to load. The other thing is that's not a real fast machine I got out there in the garage, and my Wi-Fi. I may still be. I did have to. It was up and down. The other thing about it being up and down is my router out there. I really may have to just face the fact that it just ain't working well anymore. I went out there and I didn't feel like messing around. It's cold, I went out there a few hours after I got up, and because I noticed it was acting up. And I just, rebooted the router first and then the computer, and I don't know which one made the improvement. But it was back to working again. Working as well as it has been, Now it won't go to... Now it won't go to DonsSongs.com to save its life over there, but it will here. And that's working. And this one's not. Of course, okay, that's my next step. I do not understand why DonsSongs.com is not working. Sometimes it is good to use just two different browsers. It would be, just so you know, because they don't all, even between two versions of Firefox, you can see you're not getting the same results here. So, okay, here's what I wanted to do. I downloaded, I made a bunch of screenshots since then. Okay, I downloaded, let's go to make them all by their extension. If I do it, I think if you hit it again, it'll... No, it didn't. Okay, so bishopco.com. I downloaded all the zone files right before I made my huge mistake. Actually, because I was thinking I could use them. I'll open one of them up. I was thinking I can use them. I think I figured out I can use them to put on my DNS server. All I have to do is change. All I have to do is change the GoDaddy DNS servers to mine, which would be, you know, I already named the first one. I was thinking that, well, actually, each one has its own zone file. So, like, well, this one's bishopco.biz, so it would be ns1.bishopco.com. There's several different ways you can. There is more than one way to skin a DNS server. I've figured that out. I thought there was, but there really is. There's lots of ways you can set up those files and that'll work, just as long as the right stuff is in the right places. But I think I don't want to make a different zone file for every domain name, because you have to have forward and reverse. So that's 2 per domain name, unless I have to. But I'm getting turned around. The more I try to learn about it, the more I turn myself around learning more and more and trying to remember it. If I could have one zone file, if I might have to have one forward and one reverse, but if I could do that and then put all, I know I've seen them doing it in some of those earlier videos I watched. So if I could have whatever, let's just say I name it bishopco.com because that's my base website, and then everything else is on there. And then say, I might not be able to do that. I figured out one thing though. Well, anyway, whatever I do about all that, all I was gonna do is edit these here, and what's all that? Oh, that's the IP addresses that were in there at the time. I would probably have to change all those to my external IP address. Every one of those IPs, as long as they're to do with the yeah. And for some reason, there's even a parked record there, and I don't know what that's about. I didn't want to break anything, so I didn't mess with it. All the email stuff, though, that I need it back, every bit of that. So I think maybe you can import zone files. That's what I'm trying to get to. I got off on the sidetrack of reason I downloaded them. And change, secureserver.net. Oh, MX records, that's mail. Don't change those. Actually, I might either delete these or, for to use on my server, I either delete these or comment them out. I'll make a separate copy. I won't edit these actual files here for darn sure. This may be what's saving me. But all that, what I just now did, I'm fixing to wreck it, I think. Oh, and then down here, NS41, domain control NS42, change that to what I end up with, ns1.bishopco.com probably. And then I'll have to either figure out a way to make 2 NS addresses on one server, which I don't think you can do, because it's supposed to be the primary and the backup. So the other one I was thinking I could use, the free DNS one. But if it doesn't go anywhere, then it would be kind of bad. It would be really bad to have it just go to an error, So I got to figure out how to make that work. Because, for instance, on this is bishopco.com. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, it's the one that I want fixed first. Okay. So if bishopco.com, that still doesn't go anywhere like it should. So if bishopco.com, but this one does. Okay, I'm on DonsDeals.com. I just manually set that. And see, that doesn't take long, and I could have just done that instead of wrecking everything. And I had to forward it, though, because where does it go? I don't know why it goes here. Now, I don't know why it's still doing that. I'm going to close the browser and maybe open it up again in a minute when I decide to try it again. If it's not going to help me, then I might as well close it. But this is what I've always had to do, because there's a way to do it. Okay, there is a way. Oh, yeah, it's called virtual hosting. That's how you host more than one website on the same, I just remembered. That's how you host more than one website on the same server. So on my server, my DNS server, I've got, or I don't know if I do it in the DNS side or the Apache web server side, but I need to set up. It's in the DNS. Yeah, I saw it in the videos. I need to set up virtual hosting for each one of my domain names, and then I point it to that directory. Then it works. And there's a way to do that in the GUI. I have that on my Fedora 14 system. But of course, I'm not running Fedora 14 on my server, and I wouldn't because it's too old. And, you know, there'd be security holes in it. But yeah, CNAME www. That's there. When did that get put in there? Was that always there? This is the one I was thinking was missing on bishopco.com, and that's why it was broke. Well, let's go see if it got put back in there. If I can get back to that area. I always forget which things to click on, so I usually just try to go back. Yeah, there we go. bishopco.com. But I definitely don't want to lose all that stuff. Well, before I do it, now I'll show you what, yeah, there, yeah, see, it's not in there. So something I did, isn't that something? When I did that, forwarding, but didn't click that button that said update my, stuff, the www came back. It's got one more thing in it. The reason normally I hold down control and open these up, but you see, like when you right click, you can't say open in a new window, and so holding down control, and I noticed that because I tried holding down control and it didn't work. For some reason their links are not allowing you to open in a new tab. So DonsOngs, I have to go back and forth, can't open them both up at the same time. I mean, I'm sure there's a way, but yeah, the CNAME, which is that's an alias, www. That's not in bishopco.com. I can add it, but I need a lot more than just that. But that's why this one don't work, because I'm going through it really fast. This one's linked. Look at the bottom left of the screen, www.bishopco.com. And the right one just says bishopco.com, living beings. It doesn't even say the index HTML or anything. It just says the folder, and that works. And that takes me where I want to go. See, so now that's working. And this is all running on the gateway out in the garage. So that's why I kept thinking maybe I should just edit my website. But I just knew from years of experience with this that it was not wrong. It's just something not working right with GoDaddy. And with something in I thought it might be GoDaddy or the forwarding or something. But GoDaddy usually doesn't just suddenly start screwing things up. But it's that shortener feature, I think. So, and I saw, I ran, I think it was in that ZenMap scan I ran it on one of my IP addresses, and it said, did not follow this URL shortener links, however they said it. Didn't follow them. And I was like, and it was showing, where it's going and all that all along the way. So, here's what my plan is here. Right down here at the bottom, it says import a zone file. Select a file. So I should be able to, let's go see if that can be done before I get to thinking I got something that's not even going to happen. All these CVS, it lets you select a ping. I don't think it's not telling you. It's by the date, so I guess if I just, there they are. Yeah, so I can select one, but I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to completely destroy it. I thought I would do this. DNS. DNS records. Okay, log into your Godaddy account. Next, click domain, click manage, click domain name you want to use, and then select DNS zone file tab. It's right there at the top. Let's see if that's not. Haven't been that lucky to see anything like that, but we'll see. For the record type you want to restore default settings for, click restore defaults. Click save. Came from there evidently, and there's Godaddy. Click on that one too just to see. This one looks like, okay. Reset your domain name. Restore your domain record. Log into GoDaddy. Manage button. How many years ago was this? It's July 2018. Okay, good. Click the DNS zone file tab. See, it says DNF, I guess, manage zones. See, there's nothing in there. Oh, okay. Well, hang on. Let's just... For restore your domain, should click on the default, on the restore default link. Then click on the save change button. Finally, you have to reset your domain. You should refresh your page for making it visible instantly. Okay, let's see if that's going to be right. Let's go over here and look at the GoDaddy one too. How to reset domain setting. I'm using GoDaddy for my GitHub pages. I accidentally deleted my DNS settings and domain. Yeah, I know about that. How can I reset it back to the old configuration? There is no way. There is no any reset option. Yeah, there is no any reset option. Only 2 entries now. Well, I'm better off than he is. Oh no, he's only got the NS records. That's all he's got. So he's completely broke. Solved, go to solution. I'm going to see if that'll take me straight to what it is. Okay. You can force a reset by going to domains manager and switching from standard to custom, then back to standard. Default processes should kick in. But if you're talking about the forward function, you will need the addresses of where your site files are. Further, any problem, thanks, it worked. That's a crazy backwards way to do it. Now, I thought there might be a backwards way to do it because I've seen that kind of thing happen in GoDaddy before. Well, let's see if this makes more sense. I'll try that. And I'm worried. I don't know. The zone file, I don't know if it's the exact right file for, what I need. I'm not sure if it's, because I know there's more than one zone file in any DNS server. And that is a DNS zone file. I don't know if it's what I need, but it looks like it would be, because it has pretty much all that information in there. It looks like it. I mean, I can't tell. I can't remember everything, but it's got all this. Yeah, parked. It all looks like, because I looked over the bishopco.com records quite a bit today. This looks like it would be the right file. I may have gotten really lucky, but it is for Linux. Well, they're probably running on Linux. I'll bet you. They're not running on Windows. Let's see. Not as big of an outfit. Okay. I just started typing and I got 2 choices. Let's see. Here we go. bishopco.com. Okay, but that's just what I got. That just took me to the page I've been going to over and over. Okay. All right, now let's see the backwards trick. See if that does it. There's another one. Cannot restore DNS default. Now I could be wrong. That might be how it's spelled, but because I was fixing to say I'm a bad speller, but yeah, you are. And I spell things the way they sound, but I do tend to put silent E's on stuff myself. Oh, let's look at this before I go do that. That's kind of weird. That looks like, well, let's just see. I think it might be just somebody else. There's not an automatically reset your domain records. Easiest way is get your default web packages by switching your domain name servers from standard to custom and then back. Call them 24/7 reset in 5 minutes. Oh, okay. So this is the trick, huh? Standard to custom and then back. Okay, well I saw that twice in a row. Let's look at this one too. I think this might be the one I've already looked at. I think it is. I think I only put the answer. That was not the same answer we got last time. Or did I? Yeah, I didn't. Standard to custom. All right, so I'm gonna say that that's the standard. What settings? Manage and switch from standard to custom. Are they talking about well, I guess they mean name server. But you can't do that. Cause I recognize the word custom. I can't do that. Because mine's not working. I guess I can. You got to have two. I guess I will. Templates. Let's look through all the DNS stuff. Yeah. This is how I broke it. Creating a template. Don't do that unless you really know what the heck you're doing. Domain name, yeah, okay, and then add DNS hosting. If you ever transfer this domain to us, then the zone file. So this is for well, I don't think that's at all what I want to do, and I don't want to mess anything up any worse. I think that's for if you have you don't have your domain name with them, is what it seems. My domains. Let's see if that brings me back to the. No, that's the. Well, that did fine. Okay, manage zones. Okay. Well, they're bringing that up when I start typing, so yeah, and it brings me back to my DNS zone area. Yeah, there's only one place to select a different domain. There's only one place to um, do all this. There's where you buy. I imagine that's where you could buy the DNS forwarding and I don't know what all. Secondary DNS, DNS sec, and secondary DNS. That's premium. If it says premium, you got to pay for it. Okay, manage more than you're already paying. Manage templates, export zone file, import zone file. That seems to be the simplest, easiest thing to do. Seems to be, but I don't know. It seems like they would say that. Well, you would think, but I've noticed their instructions are not so great. I know I can't go to custom though. Oh, I've tried that over and over. I could turn. I don't have the NetRoomX running. I could turn it on and see if it just suddenly worked, but I don't think I've changed a single thing. Yeah, I haven't touched it since the last day I worked on it. I'm just worried that if I import this file, that will really. But I can't. It doesn't look like it would. Bishopco.com. Okay. Taking a screenshot so that I'll have a quick way to get a record of what it is I'm doing. Although I did say I was going to quit trying to take all these screenshots. All right. Some of these it's good to do. It's bishopco.com. That's what I'm worried about, is getting that wrong. Bishopco.com. That's exactly the name. Error. Great Scott. What's the error? I don't know. Maybe they don't take. Well, that file is a downloadable one. It's one for you to use. It says use it at your own risk and all that junk at the top. It may not be laid. It may not be laid out exactly the way the ones they use are. So, the other one seemed a little more clear. There is not a way. That's not the one. It's funny, you get different answers. You get different depending on who you talk to. Let's don't get rid of that page. I think I put myself a favorite. That's not the one. So let me go into my bookmarks and yeah, there's two ones that said solved, and they both said the same thing, but in a little bit different wording. Domains manage, then switching from standard to custom, and then back to standard. Yeah, how do you do that switch? Domains. Manage. See, they're not saying about going to DNS and all that stuff. There's stuff on the right too. And that takes you right to your domains. There you go. Now, manage. I think this is different now than it was back then. Manage, okay. Now then. There's just a bunch of ads right there. Oh, here we go. Manage DNS. The domain. Be careful there. They did say manage, didn't they? It's got to be managed DNS, I guess, which is where I already was. All right. Now then. Oops, I'm on the wrong keys. Well, that's some pretty poor instructions because I thought I know where they were talking about because I've been doing, going through this so much. Unless it was different, maybe this is 2017. 2017. Yeah, they could have changed the interface since then. They do it They do it ever so often on GoDaddy, more often than some other sites. Okay, but well, I got nothing else to try but that because I couldn't do that. So, are we still on bishopco.com? Yeah, see, this is what it looks like when you go to it for the normal way. Same name servers. That didn't get changed. Well, that's actually what I'm going to have to change. It's custom, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to look at the forwarding stuff. I guess I could try the upload one more time. Yeah, I think I will. One more time. Nope, will not work. So I can't do it. I don't have a clue as to what I might do to make that work. So I'm going to turn on the NetPro Max. I was hoping that, after so many hours, it would see, especially when I did a forward and I clicked on there to set all my stuff right. I showed that a while ago. I was hoping that might fix this after a while, but it's been over 4 hours. Of course, it could be another day before it might do that. I don't know, but it says time to live 1 hour, so I figured after an hour it might fix it. But I don't think I'll have to check and see if the NetPro Max is even reachable. And I think I have to do a little more editing in the config files. So right now I can't do it. Custom, then you have to actually, if you don't save it, then I don't know that I ever put that in anything. I don't know if I ever gave that. Now, I think I did in a file. And then, let's see. Had to get to that page. I got to figure out where it is on that page, though. Okay, I'm still logged in at least. Oh yeah. No, not web forward. Backup DNS? Yeah. Here it is. Now this is what, right now I don't care if it works or not. I just want that address, something that's legitimate to put in there. This is what I had in mind to try. This is what I already tried. And it just says unavailable. So, and my server, I think it's up and running. Let's go find out and make sure. See if it's answering. Yep, it's answering. Now, there's one thing that I just never did figure out on this. This simple little thing that says, join a domain address, does it mean IP or does it mean computer OU? I don't know what OU means unless it's bishopco.local domain. Probably, I would think. You'd think they would say computer host name, bishopco.local domain, bishopco.biz. I do have a Don username on here. That's why I was sitting there thinking, well, I'll never think to use, I would be thinking I would use root, so. Make sure I'm getting that right. I did just now type it in, didn't I? Let's make sure. I guess it's wanting the real username of the machine, not one you just make up out of your head. Not even sure. Now I've lost the. There it is. Excuse me. Right when I was stuck right closer to the mic than normal, I had to cough. Now, I tried this earlier, and screen just went away. It didn't say success or failure or nothing. That is wrong. bishopco.biz. Almost didn't see that. bishopco.local domain. Root. Okay, now I'm going to retype that password. Okay, now. That's what it did before. It didn't take. Join domain. I wonder if it's because it's already there, already been done. Or the computer OU. What is a computer OU? On a domain. Okay. How to test. Log in with root account, administrator user account, and select the system. System information. Click join domain. Enter correct configuration and credentials for the domain. Keybrose member. The Active Directory. Okay, I don't think this has got anything to do with what I want to do anyway. So at least I still didn't see anything about what the computer OU is, but it says Active Directory, and I remember that when I kept finding Active Directory, it had to do with the Windows Active Directory server. So that's talking to, and it was like how to talk to how to hook up to a Windows Active Directory server from Fedora, you know. Almost looks like the same instructions. It might be. I'm skimming through it so fast. Free IPA. Yeah, free IPA. Well, it's something, but I don't remember if I installed that on there or not, that free IPA. I remember seeing that in the things you could install. So I'm not gonna worry about that anymore. I don't think that's at all what I want to do. Oh yeah, there is one thing. I never did look that up. That did that when I was trying to copy that to search it. I got to go take a break. And I hate when it changes something and it's so slightly that, or it asks you, did you mean, when it doesn't look any different. Something about virtual machines. This is hardware. I'm just going to leave it in this folder because nobody answered them. Well, thanks. They asked it. Okay, well, I don't think it's got to do with what I got going on here. That's what I was wondering is what if that has something to do with it. So get in the terminal there and let's see. I want to hit save on that again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Now let's hit cancel. I know it won't work, but as far as fixing this up here, hopeful thinking. But you'd have to be successful, evidently. So everything but bishopco.biz, all the mail stuff, everything is broken unless I can figure that out. So I'm aggravated with myself for doing that. I had that feeling. Just try one at least, Really, I should have just manually put these in. I only had 5 of them to do. I was thinking in the future, though, like every time my IP changes, if I could use that script, it'd be so great, But I have to have a break, and I guess the only thing to do is to just stop this stream and have a break and come back. So that's what I'll do. I'll be back in a little bit.